What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we had a hilarious interview with 4-division world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, who is the undisputed super middleweight world champion and widely considered the face of the sport of boxing, in Saul Canelo Alvarez. He's the undisputed super middleweight champion, the first undisputed 4 major sanction belt undisputed world champion with a record of 59 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout. He is 33 years of age, 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach. With that said, Canelo Alvarez, he responds to undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the undisputed welterweight world champion, who is widely recognized to be the #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, in Terrence Bud Crawford. Terrence Crawford is 40 wins, no losses, no draw, 31 big wins by way of knockout. He is 35 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. Now, Terrence Crawford is coming off the biggest win of his career, the most highly anticipated fight in the last 10 years, the most competitive fight on paper, if there ever was one, in the last 40 years, since September 16, 1981, when Thomas the Hitman Hearns took on Sugar Ray Leonard in an undisputed match for 2 belts. It was a 2-belt era. It was just a WBA and a WBC. With that said, this fight between Terrence Crawford and former unified welterweight 3-belt WBA, WBC, IBF world champion superstar boxer Earl the Truth Spence Jr., who is 28 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 22 big wins by way of knockout. He is 33 years of age, 5'9" with a 72-inch arm reach. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford was supposed to be on paper competitive 50-50 fight. Well, Terrence Crawford proved it was anything but that. And Terrence Crawford absolutely dominated this fight. And Terrence Crawford dropped Errol Spence in the 2nd round, twice in the 7th round, and stopped him in the 9th round. And in the other rounds in between that, outside of the 1st round, he batted Errol Spence. Many people thought it should have been stopped in the 7th round. With that said, Terrence Crawford has a lot of momentum. He's solidified himself as the best fighter in the world. And Canelo Alvarez is the face of the sport of boxing. Now, Canelo Alvarez has a major fight coming up September 30th, Las Vegas, Nevada, same T-Mobile Arena, as he's going to take on 3-time junior middleweight world champion, undisputed junior middleweight world champion, superstar who is top 5 pound-for-pound best fighters in the world, in Jermell Ironman Charlo. Jermell Charlo is 35 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 19 wins by way of knockout. He is 33 years of age, 5'11.5" with a 73.5-inch arm reach. They're going to fight September 30th, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena. But everybody wants to see Terrence Crawford challenge Canelo Alvarez, as it will be another mega super fight. After Terrence Crawford put on that dazzling, dominating performance over Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford set his sights on Jermell Charlo because he wants to be a 3-division undisputed world champion, and Jermell Charlo is currently recognized as the undisputed junior middleweight world champion. So Terrence Crawford has his sights set on Jermell Charlo, right? But you know, Jermell Charlo is daring to be great, jumping from 154 to 168 to challenge Canelo Alvarez. So everybody's wondering if Canelo Alvarez, who's the favorite against Jermell Charlo, beats Jermell Charlo. Terrence Crawford recently was featured on The Breakfast Club, to which he stated that he would fight Canelo Alvarez at middleweight, at 160. But that's his limit. He started his career at 130, became a champion at 135, 140, and 147. He wants to be a champion at 154, but he said he maxes out at 154, 160 for Canelo Alvarez. So Canelo Alvarez responded. He says it would be equivalent to me beating Terrence Crawford, is equivalent to Terrence Crawford beating 3-division world champion, undefeated superstar boxer who is widely considered one of the faces of the sport of boxing, 5-time world champion superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis has a record of 29 wins, no loss and no draw, 27 big wins by way of knockout. He is 28 years of age, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach, and a southpaw. Recently, Gervonta Tank Davis stated, well, not recently, but in the past, Gervonta Tank Davis on multiple occasions stated that he could go to 147 and knock out Terrence Crawford. So it gained a lot of momentum because Gervonta Tank Davis is close to Errol Spence and there's a storyline. Terrence Crawford said he'll stay at 147 for a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis, who became a world champion at 140, but campaigns at 135. Terrence Crawford says he won't get much credit for fighting and beating Gervonta Tank Davis because he's a smaller guy. And Canelo Alvarez, he stated, well, it's equivalent to what Terrence Crawford stated. If I beat Terrence Crawford, they're going to say he's too small. And here's where it gets interesting, because then Canelo Alvarez regurgitates what he said in the past and says that everybody wants to fight me because it represents a payday. Now, if you keep in mind, undefeated two-division world champion superstar boxer Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade called out Canelo Alvarez, came to his press conference and called out Canelo Alvarez after Canelo Alvarez had beaten Caleb Plant. And Demetrius Andrade said, are you going to fight me? And he said the famous words that went viral. Payday, you want payday? I know that because we know Canelo Alvarez just recently has learned English, and he's doing interviews in English, and he's responding in English. And Canelo Alvarez responded to Demetrius Andrade, payday, you want payday? I know that. You done nothing. So he reiterates that, and he states, everybody wants to fight me because it's a payday. So essentially he's saying that Terrence Crawford wants to fight me because I represent a payday. Payday, you want payday? Well, Terrence Crawford is not a fighter who's looking for paydays. Now, obviously, it's called prize fighting, so Terrence Crawford wants to get paid. But at the end of the day, Terrence Crawford is about building legacy. Also, Canelo Alvarez is about building legacy. The paydays just happen to follow him because of his brand. So with that said, this would be a huge fight. So he was featured on the Breakfast Club to promote the fight with Jermell Charlo. And he stated, he would fight Terrence Crawford, but the fight has to take place at 168. If I fight Terrence Crawford, it's going to have to take place at 168. I'm not going down. He was asked by Ak, can you go down to 160? And he said, absolutely not. No, I can't do it. But if I fight him, it have to be at 68. But I'm not focused on Terrence Crawford. So to say that Terrence Crawford wants payday, it's hilarious to me from Canelo Alvarez to say such a thing. Nonetheless, as far as styles-wise, they're the same height, 5'8". Terrence Crawford has a 4-inch arm reach advantage over Canelo Alvarez, and he's naturally the smaller guy. But this would be an interesting fight. Canelo Alvarez even admitted it would be an interesting fight. It's just that the weight classes. He said there's weight classes for a reason. And I agree, there is weight classes for a reason. But you're fighting Jermell Charlo, who's daring to be great. He's jumping up from 154. Now, Jermell Charlo is 5'11.5" with a 73.5-inch arm reach. Much bigger frame than Terrence Crawford. Much more room for weight gain, muscle gain, right? So they're going to fight September 30th. Terrence Crawford's momentum, Terrence Crawford's style. Terrence Crawford has went the distance a total of 3 times since becoming a world champion back in 2014. And one of those 3 times, which was Ricky Burns, his first title opportunity, went the distance. Ray Beltran, that went the distance. And Victor Postol was a unification bout, that went the distance. But what we have to note, important to note, is that when he fought Victor Postol, he dropped him twice in that fight. So they went the distance, but he did drop Victor Postol in that fight. So he went the distance a total of 3 times in the last almost 10 years, since 2014. And with that said, at welterweight, he has stopped every welterweight he's faced. Every welterweight Terrence Crawford has faced. He faced Jeff Horn, his first fight at welterweight for the WBO title. Then he fought Jose Benavidez Jr., and he stopped him in the 12th round. Then he fought Amir King Khan. Then he stopped him. Then he fought Igis Kavalauskas. Then he stopped him. Then he fought Kell Brook. Then he stopped him. Then he fought 2-time welterweight world champion, now retired future Hall of Famer Showtime Sean Porter, and he stopped him. He also fought, he fought in the meantime after Sean Porter. He stopped Sean Porter in the 10th round. Then he stopped David Avanesian in the 6th round. And most recently, he stopped Errol Spence in the 9th round. So he has 8 fights at welterweight. He's been in this division for 5 years, since 2018. And he has 8 stoppages and knockouts in his debuts at the welterweight division. All his fights at welterweight, he's all knockouts and stoppages. So that makes it his versatility, his style, his power, his skill set. Remember, Floyd Mayweather, he beat Canelo Alvarez, won every single round. Erislandy Lara arguably beat Canelo Alvarez, who's seen as a smaller guy but a pure boxer. Dimitri Bivol, who's a pure boxer with power, he dominated Canelo Alvarez. So Floyd Miller's a 47, who's another guy. Started his career at 130, became a world champion, 130, 135, 140, 147, 154. 5-division world champion. Floyd Mayweather's 5'8" with a 72-inch arm reach. He's a welterweight. Started his career, same weight class as Terence Crawford. When you look at Erislandy Lara, he's slightly bigger at 5'9" with a 72-inch arm reach, but he's not a big guy either. But their style is a problem for Canelo Alvarez. That's what makes it so interesting, not the weight. But it's hilarious that Canelo Alvarez says Terence Crawford wants payday. Payday? You want payday? I know that. So let's see how this unfolds September 30th and see how this unfolds for Terence Crawford. What's next? And that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. That's all I got for y'all. I'm gone. Peace.